In any public agency that has any review function, it's terribly important to not impose your own views and your own aesthetic and your own prejudices, and to really listen to the designer or the client, whoever it is that's presenting the work, to see where they're coming from and what drove their design and what produced the results. Doesn't mean to say you always have to agree with them. Sometimes you can feel they made a terrible mistake and you try and straighten that out. And there was some pretty bad work that came before us occasionally. But I think it's still important, even when it's not the greatest work, to understand the motivation and what drove it, whether it's economics or whether it's just somebody who isn't such a good designer, and you try and sometimes you try and behind the scenes perhaps a little bit try and say, well, maybe it would be a good idea if you brought somebody else in to work on this, if it was an important enough project to warrant that. And occasionally that we were effective in that regard. The inclusion of landscape architects in city government in many aspects, whether it's be as unpaid commissioners on the planning commission or the art commission, as it was then called, now the public design commission, is absolutely crucial. And it was a long haul, it was a long struggle. It took quite a while for landscape architects to be recognized as not an equal profession with architects, but a parallel profession that had a real role to play in public government, in the creation of public space. So that has been a huge step forward. And during the time I've practiced and have lived in New York, and the recognition of landscape architects for their value and their role has been very, very crucial.